Hey, happy Friday. It is time for another FAQ. I have not done a FAQ in like a month. I think it's a month. But have been answering some questions here and there, so I didn't let them pile up too much. I actually didn't have that many, so I guess people are getting their questions answered. So that's good. I actually noticed there are a lot on single strand knots, and when I first went natural, like when my hair was like an inch long, I did not have single strand knots at all. I was like, I would see people talk about them on the boards, but I was like, well, I don't have those. Like, I don't have that issue. Um, C'est la vie. But then, as my hair grew longer, I just realized that curly hair just like loves to love all over itself, and you do get single strand knots. I do have them. I do search and destroys. I bet you I can feel one right now. Actually, I can't find one right now. But I do have them. So I'll get to the first question. The first question is, she was saying, okay, she was asking if you should cut single strand knots or if you keep them. I personally do, every once in a while, I'll do a search and destroy, and then if I see single strand knots, I snip them off on the end. But for the most part, I just keep them as long as they're not totally like abundant. There aren't like a billion of them. I don't really care. It does make a weak point in your hair strand, however, so your hair can break at that point, but you're going to get them pretty much. I don't think I've ever talked to a person with tightly curled hair that did not have a single strand knots. It's pretty much a part of it because your hair is curling up on itself. So yeah, I kind of don't cut them. At the same time, I do cut them every once in a while, if that makes sense. But as like she said, I don't really want to lose length. So if I was cutting single strand knots and making all my other hair even to cut those off, I would never gain any length. So that'd be silly. So another question on single strand knots. Well, she was asking about split ends and upper shaft splits in single strand knots and asking if it is a moisture and protein imbalance. Okay, so it can be, single strand knots can be decreased by increasing your moisture, making sure your hair is moisturized. I think it's really good to coat your hair with conditioner because the less friction that you're causing between your hair strand, the less chance, like you can have a single strand knot and then you can have little knots and it's actually two strands of hair, or you can get a split end and then it can knot around itself and make a single strand knot. But then it's kind of not a single strand knot. Well, it's just one strand, but it's a split strand. So, yeah, just make sure you're upping your moisture. But at the same time, if you're getting mid-shaft splits, that's something that I would say you need to look at how you are detangling your hair, how you're handling your hair. Because if you're detangling with something that's really sharp, you could be splitting your hair down the shaft. So also examine how you're handling your hair in that instance. But moisturizing is key. I also think that I started getting less single strand knots when I started washing my hair in sections because my hair wasn't all together when I was washing it, and it was not, it couldn't tangle up on itself as much. I actually took my hair down in the shower the other day, and I will say it just scared me. And I don't think I'm ever going to do that again because my hair was so heavy and it was just all together, and I was like, oh my god, like it's going to tangle so bad. Ugh. So I'd rather just keep it clipped up when I am in the shower and before styling. So that's just me, but maybe I'm anal. I don't know. And there is another one about single strand knots, methods used to eliminate them and prevent them, and are they considered split ends? I just answered how I kind of try to alleviate them, washing my hair in sections, moisturizing my hair, making sure my ends are moisturized. I always put like a little bit of extra conditioner on my ends to make sure they are extra moisturized. And then also, like I said before, they don't necessarily have to be split ends. Like if you snip a single strand knot, you can look at it and examine it. And I've had some that actually was a split end and then it knotted up around itself, and then there was some it was just one strand of hair. So it really just depends. It does not have to be a split end. And I think that might be all the single strand knots ones. Yes. Okay. Oh, and this is a fun question. So it said, this actually is not hair related at all, but I'm going to answer it anyway because this is a nice question because I like it. Do you like reading? And if yes, what kind of books do you like? Okay, so I love reading. I won't even lie. I've been really busy with work and with the blog and everything. So it kind of pissed me off because I was slacking with my reading, and I love to read. So the last book I actually was just finishing up when I was traveling. I finished the autobiography of Malcolm X, and I thought it was a really good book. That was a good book. I also like nutrition books. Obviously, I love hair books and psychology books. I was a psych major in college, so I really, those are kind of books I remember it was really funny, like random story. When I was in high school, my brother got me this psychology book, but it was about like stalkers and stuff, and it was like what you're supposed to do if you like get a stalker. And for some reason, I found this book so fascinating. I was like 16, like I don't know, it's kind of morbid, but I liked it. I thought it was pretty interesting. So, okay, so point, if you ever have a stalker, do not respond to them at all. Even if you respond to them like negatively or positive, don't give them anything. Because even if you call them to cuss them out and say like, don't call me again, you crazy effer, then they will take that and see that as a sign of affection. So ignore stalkers. There you go. Lesson of the day from Elle. Get it? Okay, so then, moving on. When your hair was shorter and styling options weren't as plentiful, like I style my hair now, what was your nighttime routine? And she says she's 4 months post, congrats. And she does washing those every day, but she has no clue what to do with her hair at night. Okay, when my hair was like 4 inches, all I did was use a satin bonnet on my hair at night until my hair got too big to fit in the satin bonnet. I just used a satin bonnet, and then in the morning, I would either, if I wanted to try to get second day hair, I would spritz my hair. I think my hair started to hang a little bit by then, or it wasn't as close to my scalp. So I would spritz my hair, maybe shake it out, or I would just do my hair again because my fro would be all smushed up. So that's pretty much what I did. I wore a satin bonnet, I don't even know. And then I started pineappling, and then I have a couple of videos on pineapples. And another question. I think this is the last one. Oh no, what did I do with it? Oh, okay, here. Oh, this is another one about several splits in the center of my hair strands. I've never had an issue with splits, even when I was relaxed. I don't use heat, mainly wash and go, co-wash, and use curl checking products as my leave-in. Is my hair lacking something? It usually feels and looks great. Okay, so one thing, you say you were co-washing. Make sure you're still cleansing your hair in some way. I'm sorry, I'm like sitting on my knees. It really hurts. There we go. Okay, so just make sure you're still cleansing your hair, even if you're co-washing. If you're co-washing, you may not be using any cleansing ingredients. I don't know what you're co-washing with, but you could be getting buildup on your strands, which in turn can cause breakage and damage your hair strands, which could be causing those splits. And again, also check how you're handling your hair, how you're combing it. If you're combing your hair dry, I know some people comb their hair dry. I would never ever try to comb my hair dry. I would at least need to put conditioner in it or something to make it more pliable and to soften it up some, just because my hair's so thick. Like it would be a bad time. So I just make sure you're, either wetting your hair, putting conditioner in it, softening it up. Make sure you're not handling your hair roughly. Also, if you are experiencing mid-shaft splits, make sure sometimes your nails, if they're like a little bit jagged. I know, like, I broke a nail one time before and I didn't realize it, and I ran my finger like over my hair, and my fingernail like got caught in my hair. So just make sure you're also doing that. Like, you're not touching your hair with any jagged surfaces. If you are combing your hair, make sure you're using a seamless comb. You can look at the comb like in between the teeth, and sometimes there's this little bitty line in the comb, and you can see, and it's so small, you really have to look for it, but that can also basically shred your hair strand when you're going through. So just be wary of that and just handle your hair as gentle as possible. I know a lot of people like to use the metaphor to treat your hair like it's a cashmere sweater. I probably treat my hair more like, I don't know, I don't even want to say, probably a denim jacket, but I try. So yeah, but that's really it. Those are all the facts I have, and of course the dog wanted to, come on, say hi. Come on. Wow! He's crazy. I love you too. Okay, so that's it, and I'm gonna play with my crazy dog now because he is all up in my grill. So I'll talk to you guys later. All right, bye.